What's up, y'all? It's AK97 back with you for episode 10 of Makeup and Mental Health. Today's topic is going to be all about being disabled. Yeah, if you didn't know, I'm disabled. A couple of different ways. We're going to talk about them after a couple of things. So first, we're going to do our temperature checks. I would give myself six. This is six today. This is six today, twin. I'm just fucking exhausted. Like, I had such a goddamn full Valentine's Day weekend. Shout out to my Valentine's, and yeah, I was definitely loved on in a very special way this weekend by two women that I care about and appreciate very dearly. And I'm tired. Like, it's not because of that. Like, I don't know. It's just been something in this last week or so. Like, there's this exhaustion there that I can't kick no matter how much sleep I get. And I guess that's part of what we're going to be talking about today, despite my dreary feelings. I have an affirmation. Hopefully that'll, kind of affirm how I want to feel rather than how I am currently feeling. So, the affirmation today is, I'm finding a way to make any and all of my intentions a reality. So, being disabled, right? Disability is far more than just physical disabilities that are I don't even just want to say physical, but visible physical disabilities, right? So if somebody is using ambulatory devices, if people have wheelchairs, if people have canes, that's kind of the easiest way that we will go ahead and affirm that that person is indeed disabled. I actually have a pen. Wait, I'm gonna go get it. Because it's perfect. Y'all see this shit? Not all disabilities are visible. Before I move into talking about mental disabilities as disabilities, because that's kind of where I'm coming at it from today. There are also disabilities in the body that people may not necessarily need, constantly need the same thing. And that really goes for mental, physical, whatever disability it is that you're struggling with. On some days you can perform better than others. So I know that there's some people that use wheelchairs or use canes or walkers, but they don't need them every day. Or they don't need them when the day starts, but as the day goes on, they're gonna need their support. And then people will look at them sideways like, oh, you're not really disabled for real. First of all, mind your business. And second of all, people's needs change from moment to moment, okay? And that doesn't invalidate the experience that they're having. I am getting ready to go shopping, and not having a vehicle paired on top of my disabilities, right? So let's talk about AK shit. I am someone that lives with bipolar disorder, as well as borderline personality disorder. I like to say that I have BPD squared. Oh, that's cute. It's not cute. It's not fun. I have both of them. But autism as well. I spoke last week about self-diagnosis, and so not gonna lie, a lot of these are self-diagnosed. I was diagnosed with depression and ADHD as a kid, and ODD, which I personally do not feel is a legitimate disorder. I think it is something that Black children and other marginalized children that are, or adults, but it's mostly diagnosed with in children, if I'm not mistaken. And it's pretty much like, oh, you won't listen, you're not cooperating, you're not doing the things that we need you to do to be a cog in the machine. So now you have a disability, or rather a mental illness to be specific. And it really frustrates me that mental illness is talked about like some separate thing from disability, because calling it, even the language of calling it a mental illness, it makes it sound like something that you're experiencing in your head rather than something that is created by your environment, created by systemic removal from resources. My brain. Speaking of disability, my brain fog is real bad. And man, time blindness is an aspect of executive dysfunction that niggas do not take seriously. It is not like, oh, like, I'm running late, oh my god, like, I can't. It's like, you think that it's gonna take a certain amount of time to do something, and it absolutely does not take that amount of time. It's having absolutely no clue what 3 minutes actually looks like. Newsflash, it's fucking quick. On top of all of that, BPD makes emotional regulation really challenging, and emotions become, you've ever heard that analogy about how emotions are supposed to just be like a little cloud or whatever, and that you're supposed to just let them pass through. The way emotions affect me is they consume me entirely. Having an emotional outburst will quite literally throw me off my entire day. Now I'm not able to leave the house when I needed to. Now I don't have the energy to do any of the tasks that I said I was going to do that day. Like, my emotions can really throw me off of my shit. It's not something, I'm working on it, and I like to manifest with my words. So I'm not gonna say it can never happen. I'm just saying up until now, it's still something that I really struggle with. And no, it's not just as simple as like, oh, just get over it. It's like I said, there are tools that I can utilize more intentionally to help me regulate my emotions, and also it's a lot of work. And it's so fucking exhausting. And that's like the big thing with different mental illnesses is like, this shit's exhausting. Having to try to keep up with the rest of the world while you're trying to regulate what's going on inside. I just be tired, bruh. And that challenge that we face in keeping up with the day-to-day is the reason I really prefer to work from home, for this reason, to have an asynchronous work schedule where I can do things, I have far out deadlines, not just like, tit for tat, like in the moment. I like have it done by X date, and I'm gonna do it by X date. Now, me saving it all for the last minute and cramming, that is a difference. However, generally speaking, it works a lot better for me to be able to work on my own time. And unfortunately, capitalism demands productivity, so disabled people are really just seen as disposable because of our inability to keep up with the demands of day-to-day life, because we're not working on the man's schedule, then we're just seen as completely useless a lot of the time. And it's really frustrating, because it's not that I can't do jobs, it's not that I'm not able to perform, it's just that I need accommodations that people are not. A lot of the times there's this pressure to even prove your disability, like to if your disability is invisible, then it's like, all right, well, it looks like you're not disabled. It doesn't look like you're disabled. Having to either prove that you are disabled or masking and pretending that you're not. Like, I had a moment the other day. I think I was at work. I don't know if I was at work or if I was at home or what was going on, but I looked in the mirror and I started crying because I was just like, bro, I'm fucking disabled. I'm disabled, but because of the way that I look, people do not believe that I'm disabled, or that's just, it's not so much a matter of believing, because maybe they do believe me if I say it, but like, it's just not something that I'm readily identified as. People believe, looking at me, they just believe that, people believe that I'm neurotypical. People believe that I'm not disabled. So I'm expected to perform as such. And part of me throughout my life has prided myself in that, in a way, like being able to cosplay as a neurotypical person and being able to appear not disabled. But the older I get, the more fucking exhausted I get by that shit. Like, I don't want to pretend anymore. I want to, it's not that I want to be disabled, but I am. So I want it to be respected, and I want to be able to receive the support that I need in order to be productive. And what does that support look like, child? Mutually supportive living is one of them. I really would like to live with people that are concerned about me, and I would be concerned about that. Like, it's not a one-way street, but like, I actually want to live with people. Part of, I think around 25, I had set a goal that in my 25th year, that I wanted to move into my first solo apartment, and that never happened, and that's okay. And now a couple of years later, I'm like, child, I don't even want to live by myself for real. Like, yes, I want a certain amount of independence. I want a certain level of independence. But at the same time, like, I want to be able to lean on the people that I live with. I want them to check for me, see if I'm doing all right. Baby, you said you was gonna leave the house 2 hours ago, and you haven't left yet, so you finna leave. Like, I need that type of support, and I'm finally okay with asking for the support that I need, and that is a really key aspect of learning how to live. Look, I ain't doing nothing for real with my makeup. I'm just running little errands, so. But, yeah, I have finally gotten to the point where I'm okay with asking for what I need. Now I just need the rest of society to meet those needs and not make me feel bad about them. And, of course, I just said I wasn't going to do too much, and here I am about to do too much. Nope, we're not about to do too much. If y'all can't tell, my brain was not cooperating with me, so I just skipped to the speed through section of this. But some final thoughts. You should be concerned about disabled rights. Black justice is disability justice, and vice versa. And not that you should only care about things that could happen to you, but remember, disability, particularly physical disability, but mental disabilities as well, is just a situation, just a split moment away from being your reality. You never know when life can disable you. In fact, due to the systems that we work in, it is very likely that you will become disabled throughout your lifetime, whether it be through work or, I was gonna say more, but I'm actually just gonna point y'all in the direction of Imani Barbarin. She has taught me so much about disability justice over the years, and that's about all I got to say to y'all. Remember to be kind to yourself and don't take nobody's shit, including your own, and I will catch y'all next week. Mwah.